You're watching the 2024 NIT, downtown Indianapolis, Indiana, the host city. We're 15 minutes north at Butler University for game one of the semifinals. The Utah running Utes against the Indiana State Sycamores for the right to move on to the championship game. Second game will be Seton Hall in Georgia. That one will be later tonight on ESPN2, and this should be a fun atmosphere as we welcome you inside historic Hinkle Fieldhouse. Great to be with you, everyone. Mike Corey alongside Fran Fischella and Myron Metcalf. Fran, you talked about all tournament long celebrating these teams. You couldn't ask for a better environment to do that here tonight.
Totally agree, Mike. If you're a team playing in April, you're playing with joy. We've got 4 teams that are going to show you that tonight. And this building, the historic Hinkle Fieldhouse, is sold out. What a crowd. A lot of blue and white for Indiana State, but 4 terrific teams excited about playing.
No doubt, the Sycamore fans traveled just 71 miles here to Indianapolis to watch their rising star, Robbie Avila, here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 21, Robbie Avila.
Robbie Avila takes it to the rim. It's Robbie Avila.
Larry Nerd.
Oh my, cold-blooded.
It is so dangerous.
Avila finds its way in.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Pick your nickname.
Avila got it and one.
Oh, look at the passing.
One of the best passing centers in the nation.
And then just as impressive, Fran, on the other side, the triple-double machine this year, Davon Smith for Utah.
Yep, the Georgia Tech transfer. What's impressive is he did not go into the starting lineup full-time until mid-January, and all he did was drop 5 triple-doubles. That's a Pac-12 record, beating the great Jason Kidd. He's 1 away from an NCAA tying 6 triple-doubles. One Pac-12 coach described him to us as a college Russell Westbrook.
A week ago, Fran, we were in Terre Haute, Indiana, at the Holman Center. And you feel like many of that crowd is here tonight in Indianapolis.
Last one out of Terre Haute. Turn those lights out.
We're underway here. Our officials, DJ Carstensen, along with Randy Richardson and Brooks Wells, for the semifinals of the NIT. And Utah with the opening possession and a block inside from Jason Kent for Indiana State.
Tried to use that size, but not there.
And here's Avila, who fakes on the 3. Kicks it back out. It's Ryan Conwell for 3. That's no good.
And that first possession, Utah tried to go into Carlson. Couldn't get it done.
Smith back up top. Here's Cole Benjamin. That's a 3. Julian Larry for Indiana State. This team very good moving the ball up the court. They want to run here tonight, Fran.
There's no question about it. They want to be able to negate the length of Utah in the half court. And that's why they will get out, and that's why they average 84 points a game.
Saw the Indiana State starting 5. Here's your Utah starting 5 tonight. Carlson in his 146th career game. That's a record. And then at 55, Gabe Madsen, got to get on him. He's hit 103 3-pointers this season, also a school record.
Yep, 22 points a game in the NIT.
Smith, and the first basket of the night for the Utes.
Well, he transferred in June, but he wasn't declared eligible as a 2-time transfer until December. And he has fit right in with this team.
Back over to Conwell, who's a homecoming for him here tonight from Indianapolis. And he's fouled, and count the basket.
Well, that was terrific basketball by Indiana State. They got to switch onto the big guy, and they threw it right back to Conwell. We call that a boomerang pass. And he gets in the lane and hits a tough shot.
The foul was on Smith. trying to get it to Madsen, and they do, and he takes it in the
Beautiful.
pocket.
Beautiful play. That was a wraparound pass. Madsen never stopped. He kept going, and a great dime.
Avila for three.
Reason that's important, Mike, is because you need to bring those 7-footers away from the basket, and Avila can do that if he's knocking it down.
Carlson, and the extra pass goes out of bounds as Madsen was trying to find Benjamin.
Let's go back and watch. When you drive the ball and bring those big guys, take a look right there. Great wraparound pass and a terrific finish. And then here's Avila. And if he's going to make that 3-ball and bring those big guys away from the basket, it will open up that great cutting game the Sycamores have.
Back to Avila, and there's going to be a foul called here. It's on Indiana State. And a moving screen there by Julian Blair.
Mike, one thing I want you to watch with Indiana State, 91% of their shots are either threes or shots at the basket. This guy is an analytical whiz. They will not shoot a lot of mid-range shots by design.
Josh Schertz, his team's got 31 wins on the season. Jumper's no good here by Utah and Lawson Lovering, and here come the Sycamores once again with Larry. Stutter step, takes it in, no, tips it around, Avila collects it.
Utah, a lot of pick and roll using Smith's great speed.
Smith trying to get it inside, they can't. Lovering has it. Back to Smith, 3-ball, count it.
He's really, he's 35% from the field, but he is really, I think he stunned the Pac-12 in January and February. He transferred and nobody realized the dimensions of his game.
Franny wasn't even eligible until December 16th. Avila does it again from 3-point range.
Two things Josh Schertz told us. You mentioned one of them. Get up the court and try to beat that size down the court. And the other thing is bring those bigs away from the basket. Avila can do that.
Hot start shooting here for Indiana State. And now the other way, Madsen, he misses on the 3. Carlson on the tip, and he's fouled.
Robbie Avila, he is a terrific passing big. He's the hub of the offense, but when he's knocking this shot down, and he does it at a regular pace, they are hard to guard.
Welcome back to the semifinals of the NIT. Sycamores by 3. For more on their star, number 21, Robbie Avila. Here's the third member of our broadcast crew tonight, Byron Metcalf. What's happening?
Yeah, Robbie's always had the goggles since he was about 6th grade. He's had the game, too. His dad put him through a number of skill camps, and he said he had to go right-handed, left-handed, prove he could dribble. None of the kids in the camp could do it. Robbie could. He's continued to grow his skills since then. He tried them on 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders, 9th graders. Couldn't find competition for him. He's continued to develop. Obviously, the nicknames we've heard. We have Larry Blur. You have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I asked him, what's your favorite nickname? He said, Rob Wave, after the rapper Rod Wave. I'm sure Fred knows about that. But he said the thing he enjoys the most is that his teammates get to enjoy the spotlight that's been on him all year.
Well, what I love about this, Myron, is the very second guy, Conwell first, but the second guy that Coach Schertz went to visit when he was recruiting first year at Indiana State was Robbie Avila, because he fits the system so well. Look at this guy.
He's on fire to start here. He's hit another 3-pointer. He's 3 of 4 from 3-point range, and it's a 6-point lead.
That's a problem for the Utes, because the key to their defense is Lovewell and Carlson inside as 7-footers.
And Indiana State is 5 for their last 6 so far here in this first half. Tough turnaround for Smith, and it's in and out. Julian Larry in the crossover, and there's a foul. It's going to be on Cole Badger.
And watch right here. See how far that Lovering has to go to get out to that shooter, and that's not what he's good at. Terrific lane protector, rim protector, but that's why Avila is a problem for opponents, because you're used to being guarded by guys close to the basket. It's not a stretch to say he's a college version of Jokic, and he's proven it this year, obviously, in the Missouri Valley.
First team selection this year, and his academics too. He does it all. He really is a complete package. Just a sophomore. 8-0 run here for Indiana State. Carlson for Madsen. They working inside to Brandon Carlson. The kick out. Hunter Erickson tapped around, another rebound for the Sycamores.
And they got a good shot because they handled the double team well, but Erickson couldn't knock it down.
Larry on the take, and he's fouled. And let's not forget, too, that this Indiana State team at the free throw line is one of the best in the nation. So this is also helping their cause. Third year for Craig Smith. We had a great conversation with him throughout the practices and the shoot-arounds this past week.
He's building a terrific program. Great history at this program. Think of the great players that have played here. Keith Van Horn for sure. Andre Miller under Majerus.
Fourth straight year, we've got every NCAA Women's Championship game on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. You got the specials coming up this weekend, Friday and Sunday. Women's basketball, you and I were watching the games last night.
Yes, we did.
How special were they?
Oh, Caitlin Clark, and if you're an Indiana Fever fan, get ready. I've heard they're sold out. She will be the #1 pick in the WNBA draft. She and Aaliyah Boston building that program here in town.
Incredible games last night as Ben Carlson drains a three for Utah.
He's a young man from Minnesota who transferred from Wisconsin. Didn't play much there, but he visited Utah out of high school, and he's kind of bounced back.
Yeah, second year here at Utah, and he's got another year of eligibility as this is Ryan Conwell, and it's 19-10.
Well, we talked about Avila being the second guy Schertz recruited. Conwell was the first, but he went to South Florida for a year, came home this year.
Madsen hits a three for Utah.
What a tournament he's had, 22 points a game for the Cincinnati transfer, Gabe Madsen.
104 three-pointer on the season. And that's a traveling violation on Indiana State.
Well, let's take a look at Gabe Madsen right here. Good handoff, ball swing. That's Erickson first, knocking it down. And then Madsen comes right back with a good-looking three. He's got a twin brother that plays at Boston College. And Gabe Madsen has really had a good season for Craig Smith.
His brother, they were eliminated by UNLV in the NIT, so then he was able to come and watch Utah take on VCU. That was his first time seeing his brother as a spectator. And now the running Utes here in the semifinals. Julian Larry again.
That's nice.
Look at that.
Yes. Great job of handling the switch. Big guy on Larry, and he came right back and took it right to the basket. Utah never had a chance to get back and get matched up.
That's his first field goal. He's got 6 points. He's 4 for 4 at the foul line as well as Madsen spins. Tough fade away. And Avila's got it for Indiana State.
Watch how quickly the Sycamores want to get out and run.
Swope. And it got knocked out of his hands that time by Brandon Carlson. And a foul coming up the floor here.
Let's watch Julian Larry, the only holdover from the previous regime. Watch the switch here, and he's not going to let them switch back. Great job by Larry to get right to the basket on the big guy, use his quickness.
I'll tell you what, Fern, if they're going to be able to do that tonight, I mean, we haven't even really talked about the three-point shooting ability of Swope and Conwell, number 2 and number 3. They combined for 212 three-pointers.
Yes,
but getting to the basket.
Keep in mind, this is the best two-point shooting team in the country, Mike. And that's why we talk about threes and layups.
And that's over the last couple of years that they've led the country in 2-point field goals. Benjamin. No, rebound. Derek Forrest, who's in for the first time tonight for Indiana State, number 35. Also Jake Wolf.
These teams will not play deep into their benches.
Conwell, and he's fouled.
Watch Robbie Avila now. If this is the first time you're watching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, take a look now. He's got deep range, and he's murder if you don't guard him out there.
Hinkle Fieldhouse, formerly Butler Fieldhouse, and this was completed back in 1928, the largest basketball arena in the U.S. until 1950. They renamed it in '66 in honor of Butler's longtime coach Paul D. Tony Hinkle. And friend, it's hosted everything, right, from presidential speeches to legendary high school games. The Milan Miracle, which inspired the film Hoosiers back in 1954.
Yep, it's and Indiana State played here first in 1931 when they played Butler University. And we'll talk about Indiana State's great history. Everybody knows about Larry Bird. A lot of people don't realize that John Wooden, before he went out to the West Coast and coached at UCLA, was the coach at Indiana State. And Coach Wooden, a great player as well at Purdue University.
Yeah, 1946 to 1948. At Indiana State.
Now this is obviously Hoosier hysteria is about the love of this sport in this great state. It's like a second religion in the state of Indiana.
Awesome crowd here tonight, traveling down from Terre Haute for Indiana State. Hoping to see their Sycamores advance to the championship game. Going to be a foul called on Derek Forrest. It'll be his first. Think of it as you talk about the season that the Sycamores have had with 31 wins, their best season in 45 years since Larry Bird back in '79 as Madsen misses on the jumper. Really, last year they had won 23 games. That was their best since '79, so they just keep upping it here under Coach Schertz.
It's been a great rebuilding job by Josh Schertz. There's no question about it. He's now one of the hot young coaches in college basketball.
Larry gets inside again. It doesn't go. Rebound Erickson for Utah. Badgem on the take. Got it.
Nicely done. Good job of getting downhill by the Washington transfer. Started his career at Michigan. Signed by John Beeline. Never got a chance to play for John, but really a good, solid piece to this puzzle.
3 ball in the way. It's good. It's Conwell. The hometown hero drains it.
Well, remember, he went to South Florida after rebuffing Indiana State, and after 1 year, he called Coach Schertz, said, I want to come back. And he has been one of the best players in the Valley.
Working his way inside and getting the bucket is Keba Keita.
Well, he's a physical specimen. And again, talking to some coaches in the Pac-12, they think he is a beast is the word.
Speaking of power inside, that's Xavier Bledson. Coming off the bench and putting it in for the 2.
The only player on this roster that transferred from Lincoln Memorial with Schertz to Indiana State.
The 6th man of the year in the Missouri Valley as Erickson puts it back in for Utah.
Coach Schertz told us yesterday he told the young man he didn't think he could play at Indiana State and to stay at Lincoln Memorial, and the young man insisted, and he's been a terrific, terrific role player.
3 ball, count it, and Erickson for Utah, and they're within 6.
Little zone right now. It'll start out as a 1-3-1, but it's really a 2-3 zone.
Larry, no look inside, trying to get it to Forrest. It's knocked away. Madsen, and he threw it too far ahead of the pack, looking for Badgem.
Let's go back and watch the transfer. Hunter Erickson, transfer from BYU, a couple years there to the Salt Lake Community College, and he's got this huge team back in the game.
He started out pretty well in the non-conference and then really took a little bit to get adjusted to conference play. He didn't play that much at BYU, and now he's been kind of more of a steady force here for this team this season.
Yes, he has. Yep. Last 5 games, Mike, he's playing 22 minutes a game and scoring about 8 points a game, so a good piece of the puzzle. You'll see the zone now. They did not guard man-to-man well, and now they've let's just put it this way. Indiana State hit the fastball, now they're throwing the curveball at him.
And they lost it out of bounds again. That's 5 turnovers so far here in the first half of the Sycamores.
And let's face it, this is a road game for Utah. And right now, they've handled the crowd pretty well getting back in this game. Watch the double team, see if it comes quickly.
Carlson finds Bajema. Back to Carlson. That's a 3-ball. It's good. And all of a sudden, Utah with their 5th 3 of the night, and they're within 3.
Well, Brandon Carlson quietly has had one of the great careers in Utah basketball.
Kent's for 3, and he gets it right back for Indiana State.
These teams are similar. The ball moves well, they push it in transition, and they both knock down the 3-ball.
There's Davon Smith. Under 8 to go in the first half. We've got a foul away from the ball. It's going to be on Bledson for Indiana State, and it takes us to a timeout. Sycamores by 6 coming up. Hoosiers legend. He'll join us when we return to Hinkle Fieldhouse right after this. Welcome back to Hinkle Fieldhouse. You see the shots there of the basketball hoop, the sneakers, the jacket, from Bobby Plump, who was Indiana's Mr. Basketball back in 1954, and the inspiration for Jimmy Chitwood from the movie Hoosiers. And he joins us here tonight from historic Hinkle Fieldhouse. First off, pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much for being here. 87 years old. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing well for an 87-year-old. I'll be 88 in September, and I've got 3 of my teammates with me, and ironically, 8 of the 12 of us are still alive.
How about that? How many times have you done this with all that's been talked about with the great movie and what you did to kind of inspire it?
Oh, I didn't inspire it. My team inspired it. I was lucky I hit the last shot. I was the leading scorer, but I've done this a few times, and it's always fun to meet different people and be able to be on a program like this. And what a game we're watching.
We are. What do you remember about the Muncie Central game, the championship, the Indiana State championship?
Well, one of the things that I remember about that game, and what most people don't realize, see, we had a 15-point winning margin by the time we met them, and we used a 4-corner offense that most people think Dean Smith invented at North Carolina. When we hit Muncie Central, no team but one got within double digits of us. We used the 4-corner as an offensive weapon. We beat Crispus Attucks with Oscar Robertson 65 to 52 using the 4-corner. We were ahead of Muncie 6 points. Going into the fourth quarter, we were at 23-17. We're behind 28 to 26. I look over at our coach, and he's going like this, which meant that I should hold the ball. I stood there with 15,000 fans screaming their heads off for 4 minutes and 17 seconds behind 2 points in the final game.
That had to be boring.
Well, I'll tell you what. They didn't get any closer to us. For
I like
sure.
What's it like being back here in this arena? This is historic environment watching.
Let me tell you, this floor, this arena, I played for Mr. Hinkle for 4 years here. I established single-game career scoring records, still have a record here. So walking in this field house, I get goosebumps every time I come in, and I've been here a few times.
Bobby, high school, college, NBA, what does Hoosier hysteria mean to you?
Well, Hoosier hysteria. Back then, you see, Indiana did not have a football championship. They didn't have that till 1972. So basketball was king. We drew 800,000 people in 1954, and it was televised statewide. And from 1956 to 1989, we drew better than 1 million people. And TV paid the IHSAA $500,000 a year to televise it. So it was the only game in town, really. And that's where Hoosier hysteria came from, starting back with John Wooden in the 20s.
Yep.
I mean, there have been some great, great players come out of Indiana, and I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of them.
Badgerman knocks down the jumper for Utah, and they close the gap to 3 once again with just under 6 minutes to go in this first half. Bobby, awesome to see you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we really hope you enjoy the rest of this one.
Believe me, it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
And what a pleasure meeting you all.
Thank you, Bobby.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Bobby Plump joining us here, the 1954 state champion, with a shot to win it, and inspiring the movie Hoosiers. Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, no question. And if you've been around the state like I have through the years, this place, and you can tell tonight this place loves basketball. How about Utah hanging around? And, you know, that momentum that Indiana State had early, Mike, it's dissipated because Utah's made some shots. And it's been fun to watch them bounce back.
Wonder what's going on over there on the sideline for Utah. Myron?
Yeah, Craig Smith told his team, continue to play with pace, but let's slow our minds down. Also wants the guys to over-communicate. He emphasized that often, but he kept telling them, everybody, we're good, slow our minds down.
Well, they're 6 of 10 from three-point range. That's helped the cause. And now they got a chance to take the lead. Here comes Smith.
Watch him, watch him.
Davon Smith.
Whoa. How explosive is he? A household name in the Pac-12 this year, but he's on a national stage tonight and getting it done. Wow!
Fans, you can now access the official Visit NCAA.com/game.
So he wasn't eligible until mid-December. He did not go into the starting lineup until mid-January. And all he did after that, Mike Corey, how about this? 5 triple-doubles, a Pac-12 record, and he's 1 away from the NCAA tying record of 6 held by BYU's Kyle Collinsworth. And you've seen that electricity that he provides his team.
Fred, he's working on back-to-back triple-doubles as they get inside to Avila, who scores, and Indiana State's back up by 1. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists in the last game for this guy, number 5 in red for Utah. Badgerman trying to get a step. They're going to call the foul. Isaiah Swope.
Is on the Sycamores, number 2, Isaiah Swope, is second.
Both coaches told us, take a look right here. Watch the little dump down right inside, and Avila with another easy one because of the clever passing of this Indiana State team. You know, we talked about Josh Scherz, and he has a very analytically driven offense. It's layups and threes.
Three-pointer for Utah. Ben Carlson drains it. He's got 2 of them tonight. That's their 7th of the evening.
And they're staying in that zone in part to take away dribble penetration.
Larry dribbles it back out for the Sycamores. Nice feed, yes. Avila, thanks to Conwell.
Well, we talk about dribble penetration, and that time Conwell got right into the heart of that zone and was able to find Avila. Robbie's got some baskets tonight that he hasn't really had to work for because of the terrific passing.
Carlson powers his way inside, gets the hook.
Beautiful. I'll tell you, this young man has had 2 back-to-back all Pac-12 seasons. He will probably play in the NBA next year because at 7 feet and his ability to shoot it, there's a place for him.
50-year senior again, more excellent passing inside for Indiana State. Kent scores it.
Terrific ball movement. And what we've seen so far is really good offensive execution for both of these teams, and we're not surprised by that.
We are not. 39 all here, coming up on 3 minutes left in the first half. Game 1 of 2 in the semifinals of the NIT. Here come the Sycamores, and that time Conwell with a no look. And Coach Schertz says, okay, I like the idea. Let's just settle it down a little bit here, and we'll be right back. Coach Smith at Utah, Coach Schertz at Indiana State. What a game. Tied at 39 first half. We'll be back.
Milk Chamberlain. That's mine. Milk Chamberlain.
It's a good one.
He's a hero in Terre Haute. Little zone now for the first time by the Sycamores. They show a zone, but it's really man-to-man. And how about Badgerman knocking it down? A fifth-year player at a first Michigan, then Washington. And a terrific season this year for Craig Smith.
6 different players have knocked down a 3 for Utah. They're 8 of 12 from three-point range, so they're back up 3. And there's Avila right back to work inside. It doesn't go, but an offensive rebound by Bledson. Working on Madsen inside. Tough one, stays with it. It's bumped and fouled, count the basket.
Oh man, you love this. You love this. His coach told him he was not good enough to play at Indiana State after having a terrific career at D2 Lincoln Memorial. And mom and son said, Coach, give him a chance. He's a great passer, a great competitor, and as you mentioned earlier, the 6th man of the year in the Valley. He's really a 6th starter.
And he's been consistent. He's played in every game this season. As you said, comes off the bench, but boy, what a rise for him, and included with that starting 5 that's been so good this year. 42 all here tonight.
Yeah, he knows the offense better than anybody in this program because he's been with Schertz for 6 years.
Madsen partially blocked inside that time by Conwell, and Kent gathers it, gets it to Larry. Conwell for 3. No good. Rebound Erickson.
A terrific ball movement right there, and a good shot. And is it Carlson that's banged up a little bit?
Yes, and they stop play, so Brandon Carlson hobbling off to the sideline there. See if we can see what happened. Oh, right there at the top.
Yeah, he looked like he banged knees with the Indiana State player. Take a look right here. That Larry?
Yep, with Larry, you said it. He's at the end of the bench right now,
yeah,
getting some attention.
Well, and hopefully it's just a, I don't want to say a Charlie horse, but hopefully he'll be okay. He has really had a fabulous career. All-time leading shot blocker, I think top 5 in scoring. You think of the great players that have played at Utah through the years, he's certainly put his name up there in that pantheon.
Madsen goes down with it and got it out to Erickson before he traveled. Shot clock's inside 10. We got 1:20 to go in the first half. Bajema, and he is fouled, and Bledson's going to get called for a second.
Bajema has got terrific bounce, no question. Take a look right here. Watch Cole. Cole's a young man from the state of Washington. Families from Michigan. Recruited and signed by John Beeline. He would have been a perfect player in that system. Did not play much for Juwan Howard. Transferred, and after a good career at Washington, really good graduate year here.
NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Final Four begins Saturday, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on TBS. For more information, go to NCAA.com.
Man, my man Danny Hurley, he is a machine. what they're doing right now is like Mike Tyson in his prime. They're trying to knock teams out in the first round. And the UConn Huskies have been really impressive.
Carlson has been headed to the locker room. Brandon Carlson, who banged his knee there moments ago. And now he's walking back out to the bench. We'll see when he does hopefully get back into action for Utah. They get the rebound here off a miss. And that's Ben Carlson, gets it up to Madsen, and now Erickson for three. Rebound Indiana State with under a minute to go in the first half.
You love the idea that both teams love to get up and down. Not afraid to shoot the three in transition.
Utah shooting 50% from the field. Indiana State's at 51.7%. We got a foul on the floor.
Well, I wouldn't say either team is a great defensive team, not a juggernaut defensively, but offensively, both of these teams have shown all year that they move the ball well, they're skilled, they score inside, they score outside.
A couple people around the program were saying, yeah, we might have a 103, 102 type of game. We were kind of headed in that direction.
Yep.
And here comes Brandon Carlson back into the game.
It looked like he banged knees with Larry. And good to see him back. Young man, as we mentioned, 5 years in the program. Did a Mormon mission, returned. Saw him as a freshman when he played at the Myrtle Beach Invitational.
Going to celebrate the 4-year anniversary with his wife, Maddie, coming up this July as well. And he has been a staple with this program for Utah. And he comes in for Bajema, who picked up his second personal foul. Here's Erickson, floats it into Lovering.
Got to shoot it.
Clangs that one. Avila's got the rebound, and Indiana State here, Frank, can hold for the final shot.
Yep, and they can go in a lot of different directions, but you like Conwell with the ball.
Eight seconds to go. Conwell on the take. Got it. What a way to end the half. Tied at 44.
I love it. Both teams imposing their will. They can score it in transition. They shoot the three ball. And then watch the sophomore Ryan Conwell. They push him to his right hand, and he said, that's okay. I've been working on that all season long. Nicely done by the Indianapolis native.
Tied at 44. Let's go to Myron, who's with Coach Josh Schertz.
What a game so far, Coach. Back and forth affair, down to the last bucket. What do you like about what your team did?
Thought we competed well. Obviously, we ran some good stuff. We got a couple of good looks we didn't make, but, you know, we've got to continue to hunt those great shots, move them. They're big and athletic and long, and so I thought we generated good shots. Obviously, want to make a few more, but it's this end. We got to be better on the defensive end. They're hard to guard with their size and their shooting.
What's the biggest message at halftime to your team?
Got to tighten up defensively. Can't allow missed shots to bleed in. Got to get back in transition. Got to do a better job of finding shooters. We're scrambling because of the blitzes and things, but we just got to be, you know, got to continue to compete down here on the glass and on the defensive end.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so it's semifinal game number 1 of 2. Indiana State and Utah tied at 44. Let's get you to the studio. Zubin Mehenti, Dallin Cuff, Seth Greenberg. It's all you guys. In Indianapolis, Indiana, right up the road to Butler University, and historic Hinkle Fieldhouse, host site for the semifinals of the championship of the 2024 NIT. Welcome back, everyone. Mike Corey, Fran Fraschilla, Myron Metcalf with us here. 44-all. What a game, what an atmosphere. Here we go.
Fun. Great offense both ways. Teams move the ball, and if you haven't seen Robbie Avila before, you may have heard about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird. He's been everything as advertised. 15 and 5, 3 of 4 from outside the arc, scoring inside, and he's part of an offense that really is a well-oiled machine for Coach Josh Schertz. Take a look at the big fella knocking it down from behind the arc, and just love the way he plays the game. And when you talk about Utah, how about this, Mike? They make 9 threes a game. They've already got 8 of 13. Now, high this year is 13 threes made. They're on that pace. And in this building, which is essentially a road game for them, very impressive after a slow start. They are back in this game. And this crowd is loving this atmosphere.
And they're doing it with balanced scoring. And you talk about the three-point shooting. There have been 6 different players that have combined for those 8 three-pointers so far here tonight.
Yeah, but take a look at the turnovers. Only 8 between these two teams.
All right, second half is underway. Winner to the championship game, which we'll have for you on Thursday night here at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Game 2, Seton Hall and Georgia later tonight.
Yep, Utes open in the zone, and they played this defense about 25% of their half-court possessions. It's been effective tonight because they did not have success guarding this Sycamore team man-to-man.
And what about for Davon Smith, who we featured in the open 9 points?
He's been terrific. I mean, he sets the tone for this Ute team. Great passer. Watch him get downhill.
Takes it right in. It doesn't go, but he got fouled.
He's got a 45-inch vertical. Now, he's got no left hand, which is why he tried to score with his right going left. But the athleticism is unparalleled. Watch how high this young man gets up. And you see the foul right there by Avila. And young man to start. By the way, this is the second time he's been in NIT Semifinal, because his freshman year, he played at Mississippi State for Ben Howard.
Let's check in with Myron.
Yeah, Davon Smith has a 45-inch vertical. He would have won the NFL Combine's vertical competition had he participated. Obviously, it's held here. But talking to Craig Smith, he said the biggest thing that he think happened in the first half was they're switching 1 through 4, which neutralized Avila. And he said he's happy with the way his team fought back, but they got to continue to protect the paint. If they can do that, he feels like they can come out on top in this game.
Benjamin knocking down a 3-ball for Utah. They're back in front.
Well, they can really come out on top if they keep knocking down the 3-ball, because that's number 9. And that's basically what they average during the season. And this zone is really a 2-3 zone. And they match up and play a lot of man. Watch out, shooter.
Another 3. It's Conwell the other way for Indiana State, tied at 47.
Conwell, I thought, played as well as any player in the Valley last month of the season, minus maybe Darren DeVries, the player of the year in the league. Only a sophomore.
Conwell coming off that 18-point effort in the last game in the win over Cincinnati at home to get here tonight. Tipped around. Avila's got it for Indiana State. Nice lead pass for Swope.
Boy, Isaiah's been quiet tonight. He transferred from Southern Indiana.
No points, 0 for 3 from the field. Here's Kent for 3, and that's way off.
Watch Smith. He's got great vision in the half court.
Smith couldn't get the bounce. Good box out there, and Conwell's got it.
Well, you see they switched that time. They put the guard back on Avila so he couldn't shoot the 3.
Conwell. Swope for his first points. Yes. That's a 3.
That's important because that spreads the defense out even more.
Benjamin trying to quiet this Sycamore's crowd, and he is fouled.
Yeah, we'll take a look right now. Isaiah Swope, young man from Southern Indiana. You see the drive, the kick out. The reason he transferred to Indiana State, you see Ryan Cornwell's mom, is he dropped 28 on Indiana State as a member of Southern Indiana last year. Came in here and they upset the Sycamores.
Well, Swope just picked up his 3rd personal foul. That was deflected.
He can pick it up.
Yeah, no backcourt. He saw the official say deflected.
It's a deflected. He didn't have possession. You can pick it up in the backcourt.
Smith. Ben Carlson, that's a 3, it's good. Tied at 50.
And another assist for Davon Smith.
And Coach Craig Smith talked about his team sharing the ball in this tournament. In the 3 prior games, as Conwell misses on the 3, they've had 23, 22, and 21 assists.
Well, you mentioned it, Mike. 6 different Utes. It's not just 2 Utes, it's 6 Utes. Knocking them down. Take a look. Good ball movement. Mikey?
Yeah.
Take that tape. What's it say?
16 feet.
Gentlemen, I think you'll find that these lane dimensions are exactly like the FIBA and the NBA lanes.
And that's not your acting debut, is it?
No,
Frank?
it's not. No, I got a few credits, but the lane experimentally in the NIT is 16 feet, like the NBA and the FIBA lane. In college, it's 12. So we're trying to figure out, the NCAA does a great job of using the NIT to experiment with rules. We've seen the shot clock. The three-point line has been adjusted because of this. And this year we're using the bigger NBA FIBA lane.
Did you like the hat?
You know, you were phenomenal. Best supporting actor. And that was fun.
That was great. And here are the rules, by the way. Yeah, so like you said, 12 to 16 feet. And then also the media timeouts here in the second half. We're going under 17, 14, 11, 8, and 4. Three-pointer knocked down by Swope. You'd said he got off to the slow start, and then he's just drained 2 threes in a row.
Yeah, he wasn't really involved in the offense. He didn't take any bad shots. He just wasn't getting any looks. But what makes this team so good is 5 players who start can score. Good cut right there.
Look at the passing here. Ben Carlson's got it. Spinning and scoring.
Beautiful.
Held the basket.
Yep. Terrific move by Ben Carlson, the Wisconsin transfer. Let's go back and watch Swope. Young man who we said transferred to Indiana State. And then good job right here. I was at a Utah practice 5 years ago when Larry Krystkowiak was here as the coach. And this young man and his family visited Utah. He eventually, out of Minnesota, signed with Wisconsin and bounced back here. That free throw was way short. Having a good night.
Well, he's had an incredible game here tonight with 11 points, and he only played in 5 minutes and 49 seconds in the last game, so
he's fresh.
Jump.
He's fresh, for sure. Oh, good go screen.
Madsen for 3, got a good look, and he couldn't convert. Rebound Conwell.
Yeah, Madsen came up like he was screening, and then he disappeared. That's why we call that a go screen. Nice cut.
The back door, and it's good for 2 from Avila to Swope.
That's where you see Robbie is the hub of the offense.
Brandon Carlson for Smith. Carlson for 3. Not there. Many of the Sycamore fans on their feet here at Hinkle Fieldhouse, 71 miles away. It's a sellout tonight. Swope. Quickly for Smith. Going baseline, and it's intercepted. And a foul is called. Swope got in there.
Well, watch Robbie Avila. We've seen him shoot the 3 ball, but this is what he does best. A little bounce pass right there. You see the great spacing. When you have a center who passes it, you don't need a point guard, and in his case, he's got 4 interchangeable parts to play with. That's why you see more teams like Josh Schertz's team going to that 5-out with the passing big man. You know, we've been 25 minutes in. We have not mentioned Larry Bird yet.
Go ahead.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I think I said it maybe early on when this is the best season they've had in 45 years.
Yeah.
Since Bird. I mean, it's pretty impressive what this team has done. They're trying to get their 32nd win of the year here tonight. Ball inside for Keita. No. gets the rebound, goes down with it. They're going to call it travel. Yes, they will. Good effort, though, by Keba Keita.
Yeah, terrific job by the youngster. Take a look. Look at the work ethic inside. Young man from Mali. He went to high school at Wasatch Academy, which is about 30 miles south of Provo, probably 60 miles from Salt Lake City. And Utah, since the early part of the game, has stayed in that zone.
We talk about Indiana State want to get up and down the court. How do you think they're doing here in the half-court set?
They're doing well because they're getting it inside. And when you see a zone, you don't want to be baited into tough threes. You want to punish the zone with good interior play, and they've done that.
Avila's got 17 points on 7 of 10 from the field. Sycamores by 3. Smith, no, and a foul on the rebound. It's going against Utah. It's going against Ben Carlson. That'll be his first.
Well, they play you zone because they think you either can't shoot it or they don't want you to score in the lane. So what do you do versus the zone? You score in the lane. It's demoralizing.
Women's Final Four is set. NC State, South Carolina, 7 o'clock Eastern. UConn, Iowa, Friday on ESPN. How great are those games going to be? Coverage begins with our Final Four special at 6 Eastern. Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi are back calling the games on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus, and a spot in the championship game on the line.
Amazing. What a great tournament it's been so far on the women's side. Some great individual play. South Carolina, a machine. They replaced every starter, I believe, from last year, and Caitlin Clark, obviously, even better, maybe, Mike, than advertised.
It's going to be incredible, those games coming up on Friday. 57-54, Robbie Avila has 17 points. Myron getting it done like we talked about in the Open.
Yeah, you know, he's been wearing the goggles since he was a kid, way back in 6th grade, and they'd walk into gyms, and fans would not expect a whole lot from him because of the way he looked. And his mom told me that she would want to say something to these fans and say, listen, don't talk about my kid. But Robbie said, don't do that. We'll show him on the court. She said as the games progressed, everyone would become a Robbie fan. They judged him when he came into the gym, but once he was done, everybody knew how good he was.
Well, Myron, the first time Josh Schertz and his staff saw Robbie in a summer tournament, the first time Josh Schertz went out on the road, you see mom and dad, he knew that was the guy that would be the hub, focal point center of this offense. And that has been a great marriage so far.
He is delivering tonight with a game-high 17. Here's a 3, no good by Conwell. It's tapped back out to Indiana State.
Even versus the zone, they spread the floor.
Swope pulls up and hits.
That dribble penetration against that zone is critical because it really contracts it, and as you move it, you're going to get the open 3.
Erickson works it into the post here for Carlson. Kent's on him, his spin move, and he converts.
Coach Schertz early in the game came with double teams, but Carlson's seen doubles his whole career. That time one-on-one he scores.
Here's Conwell. Back to Swope, 3 ball. Kent trying to track it down, Madsen, and they're going to say out of bounds off of Kent. Madsen got hit in the head. He's down, he's going to get help up.
Now, initially, from our point of view, it looked like Utah knocked that ball out, but let's watch. Still hard to tell. I thought it was off Madsen.
Might have been, yeah.
It's not reviewable, obviously, until under 2 minutes.
The run in U2, the pass, it's intercepted. Picked off by Conwell. Utah wants a timeout. been a fun one here tonight from historic Hinkle Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana. Home for the semifinals of the championship here of the 2024 NIT. Pleasure to be with you, Mike Corey, Frank Fraschilla, Myron Metcalf. Indiana State trying for their 32nd win of the season, Fran. They're up by 5 here with 11:32 to go second half.
Keep in mind that about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, bitter disappointment not getting into the NCAA tournament as an enlarged team. They trailed SMU by about 20 in that game at home. Once they rallied, it becomes a snowball downhill to keep playing in the NIT.
Brandon Carlson working his way inside for Utah. The big guy, it's partially blocked by Kent.
Watching Swope, he looks like he's feeling it, doesn't he?
He does, takes it in. There it is. It's a 10-2 run here for the Sycamores in the last 5 minutes. And quieting the crowd is Badgema. Nice drive.
Terrific drive by Cole Badgema. Saw the seam, got to the rim, and pretty good PhD right there. Proper hand development with that spin move.
Avila.
Yep.
There's a mismatch with Smith on him. I'm going to call Smith for the foul, and he said, yeah okay.
He almost is glad he fouled him.
Right. 4th straight year, folks, every NCAA Women's Championship game on the networks of ESPN. Here tonight, the semifinals of the men's. We'll be back. 5-point lead, Indiana State.
Craig Swope 0 for 3 in the first half, but the microwave has heated up in the second half, 5 for 8. And I'll take you back to the Missouri Valley Championship game, Mike, 19 in the second half, when he almost rescued the Indiana State Sycamores in that great Valley contest with Drake. And, you know, it wasn't like he was not playing well in the first half. The offense just didn't go through him. And now all of a sudden he's a guy that can get you points quickly.
Well, you said it, and this team is so unselfish that they don't need to take over, but hey, I got to get involved here. It slowly came to him, and now he's taking advantage of it.
And he's the guy now, and yet they've got 4 other guys out here to do the same thing. Tough pass.
Nice play.
Yep. Can't throw it over a guy with a 45-inch vertical.
Right.
I'd go inside again. I'd throw it to him, let him go to work.
Brandon Carlson. Yep, there's baseline. How about that, Myron?
You know, talking to Craig Smith, it sounded like a Rocky movie in that timeout. He said, we got to keep throwing haymakers. It's not about how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you can get back up. And then he looked at his team and said, listen, this is our Final Four. Let's compete like that.
Well, I think a guy like Carlson, doesn't want his season and career to end. But right now, Ryan Conwell's trying to make that happen.
Well, neither do these Indiana State fans. They'll come out in full force here tonight. A sold-out Hinkle Fieldhouse. Up by 6. And it'll stay that way as Ben Carlson misses on the 3. Oh, what a pass! Ferguson Swope to Larry. Fran, you loved the pass the other night at home. What do you think about this one?
You love the fact that they all pass the ball. It's not just Avila. Take a look right here. Swope with the one-hand dime. And Julian Larry, the one guy that was here waiting for shirts and his teammates, gets it done. The point guard from Frisco, Texas.
Smith for 3. Big one, and Utah needed that.
They sure did. Remember, we talk about that dynamic athleticism. He shoots it at a 35% rate from deep.
Tonight he's 2 for 2. He's got 12 points. 4 Utah players in double figures in scoring. They're within 5. Swope thought about that long 3. Now it's Conwell that takes it, and he misses, and a foul on the rebound. And it's going to be on Utah. They'll call it on Brandon Carlson.
Really good ball movement that time. They got the shot they wanted. Let's go back and watch Davon Smith off a screen, off an inbounds play, knocks it down, and keeps them within striking distance of these Sycamores.
Conwell gets it into Avila.
Got a mismatch if they can find it. And they're trying to find it.
Conwell. Got it! And a foul.
Conwell is a dominant left-handed driver. They're forcing him to the right hand. But tonight he's made, look how they sit on that left hand. And it doesn't matter. He's going to take it hard to the rim and finish. The young man from Indianapolis Pike High School, which has produced so many good players. You think of the Teague brothers, who both played in the NBA. This is a basketball community where we are, Mike.
Well, you mentioned it earlier about Conwell, who was recruited initially by Josh Schertz. He ended up going to USF, and then when he decided to leave because of the coaching change, he said, you know what? They wanted me here so bad. The relationship with Coach Schertz, it wasn't even a choice. He's coming right here to Indiana State, and look what he's doing. Here's Madsen off a screen, and he drains another three. That is the 12th of the night by Utah.
And he is well over 100 threes on the season. A Ute record. Look at this deep one, too short.
That's a quick one. Smith tipped it, though, and it's going to stay with Indiana State.
Watch how quickly Gabe Madsen gets this off. The transfer from Cincinnati. We had a great talk with him about him. He works out on his shooting in bare feet. He says it gives him really good stability. And he has had a terrific season and career here at Utah.
Well, those are some of the haymakers that Myron was talking about there. And you said it, Fran. He's got 2 threes tonight, 105 now on the season, extending his single-season record at Utah. And right back the other way is Bledson, and he drains a three for Indiana State. Smith, Carlson. Extra pass, yeah. Julian Larry, three. Got it!
2 words, Mike. Ball movement.
Largest lead of the game for Indiana State, 77-66. A couple weeks ago, Josh Schertz and this Sycamores team had about 70 people gathered together in selection show. The disappointment Sunday. And what did he do on Monday, Fran, to get his team rallied to get ready here for the NIT?
It was unbelievable. He sent his staff out contacting all the families of his players to get video of them playing in high school, AAU, biddy basketball. He put a video together and he showed him on Monday. He said, I know you're disappointed in not going to the NCAA tournament, but remember why you play this game. You play this game because of joy, because you love it, because you've been playing it since you were little kids. That first game against SMU, they were not the same team. But since they've started going, they really have they've got a chance to win a championship. And you really love the fact that he used that motivational ploy almost perfectly, Byron.
Yeah, Robbie said the team really came together and decided we want to keep playing basketball together. We like each other, and we want to build more momentum in this tournament. So he said they didn't hang their heads long. They were ready to keep going.
Bledson misses a three. Offensive rebound, Avila.
I could think of a lot of teams that turned down this tournament, and maybe for good reason, but watch this, folks.
Julian Larry.
There's a joy for the sport that these teams have. They didn't want to put the balls away.
Erickson on the take, and he's blocked by Avila.
Watch Julian Larry right now, former high school quarterback at Frisco Lone Star. Take a look, watch him to the rim, use that rim perfectly to shield the defender, and there's Robbie Avila.
Madsen, tough shot. Avila's got it. Swope ahead of steam, taking on all comers, right into the chest of Erickson. And the route is on Indiana State now with a 14-point lead.
They've turned lemons into lemonade in this tournament.
Smith trying to keep Utah in it. Boy, what a year he has had. 17 points here tonight. Okay, you said it. He didn't even start playing until mid-December. Then they made him the point guard. He had to try to find his way as the point guard for this team. And this Utah team, Fran, has dealt with a bunch of injuries as well. For them to be in here, a chance to get to the championship game of the NIT. Let's not forget about what the running Utes have done this year.
Well, I'll tell you, as someone who loves covering Big 12 basketball, I'm excited about where this team is going. The Huntsman Center, great history there. This kid, Davon Smith, I think if he's here next year at Utah, is going to be a star. And got to give Craig Smith's team credit, too. They dealt with a lot of injuries, and they thought they were going into the NCAA tournament in February. Didn't pan out that way. Made a great run. Now their season is 5 minutes and 46 away from ending because of the way this Indiana State team has played.
Well, we were tied at 44 at halftime, and all of a sudden this second half, Indiana State knocking down the threes like this team has done all season long.
They are one of the most efficient offensive teams in the country, and you can see why tonight. Everybody can shoot the three, everybody passes it, they get layups off of their offense, and efficiency would be the watchword with this Sycamore team. When you talk to coaches around the country, and you mention Josh Schertz's name, they will tell you he's an offensive Einstein. He thinks the game at a high level, and he puts his players in a position to be really good at what they do best.
We were at Indiana State a week ago today. Talked to a lot of these players, talked to Coach Schertz a bunch, and then this week as well for the couple of days leading up to this game today. And every single player said how it starts back in the summertime, right? The relationships that they've built. You can't just bring on people, transfers, freshmen, whatever it may be, and then hope that they're going to play together and play for each other. Right. That says a lot about Schertz, his staff, and these guys coming together to have this type of season they've had.
Well, they break the offense down into small pieces in the summer, and they get good at what we call small-sided games. And then they put it together in 5-on-5, and it's a work of art.
Larry and a steal, and he's fouled.
I'm telling you, this kid, Greg Lansing, who did a great job at Indiana State, recruited this young man out of the Frisco, Dallas area, and he has been outstanding. He's athletic, he's strong, he's a point guard who gives it up, and he, the holdover has been terrific.
12-point lead here for the Sycamores, and Final Four weekend coming your way. Women's basketball here starts on Friday on ESPN, our Final Four special, Sunday on ABC. Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi with a show coming up as well. Women's basketball, we watched those games last night. Iowa, UConn, moving on. What a Final Four coming up.
How about Gino? Gino's got the Huskies back in the Final Four.
Does it again. Carlson.
Oh, man.
Nice spin.
He's terrific. He has really destroyed those single coverages in the second half. Just hasn't been enough of him yet. Staying in the zone, looking to stretch the zone out a little bit, start the trap out of it.
Fifth and final year for Brandon Carlson, 35 in red for Utah. He doesn't want his season to end. Here's a three ball by Caldwell, and they don't either. Indiana State back up 13. 25 for Conwell to lead all scores tonight. And a foul at Indiana State and Bledson. Boy, you don't think Conwell is excited to come back to his hometown and play here in Hinkle Fieldhouse?
Absolutely. Watch how they bust this zone in half right there. Great inside-out ball movement. And, you know, we talked about the man-to-man defense in the first half. That was a fastball that was hittable. Well, they're hitting the hanging curveball of that zone right now. Look at this.
And the foul's going to be called on Larry. But with the anticipation that he has had here tonight, getting into the passing lanes, the steals, you've seen it, you're okay with that foul?
I'm okay with that foul. I told you about his football career. His best friend growing up is Marvin Mims, the current Denver Broncos wide receiver, former Oklahoma Sooner. He was a high school quarterback. Now, when you throw to Marvin Mims, you're going to complete a lot of passes,
yes.
But you can see that football instinct this young man has as well.
It's a 1-1 here for Ben Carlson. Utah has only been to the free throw line 5 times. They're 2 of 5 here tonight. Now 2 of 6.
You know, you watch this Indiana State team, and, you know, you can criticize the basketball committee for the decisions they've made this year. It's subjective, okay? I know this. I watch basketball. This team could have won games in the NCAA tournament, no doubt.
Nice feed from Larry inside the Ivy-line. He's going to go to the free throw line. And we got a timeout. Free throws for the Sycamores with a 13-point lead in the semifinals of the NIT from Indy. All right, thanks, guys. We got 4 minutes even to go here from Indianapolis. Hinkle Fieldhouse, Mike Corey, Fran Fraschilla, Myron Metcalf. 13-point lead, Indiana State. You were talking about the selection show, the NCAA. It had 28 wins for this Indiana State team, and their net was really good, too. And I'm just saying that when you watch them, you see them in the best season in 45 years since Larry Bird. I mean, hey, maybe we want to see them some more, don't we?
Keep this in mind. They went to Alabama. They played Alabama close for 30 minutes without Robbie Avila. 2 losses in league were with Jason Kent hurt. And committee has a hard job. I certainly would have had them in. I've been a mid-major coach. Not saying that. I just think they would have been a team that could have won a game or 2 in the tournament. And keep this in mind, Mike. Nobody's going to play Indiana State at home. No Power 6 team.
Right.
They went to Michigan State. They played them tough. Played Alabama without Avila. To me, how about this? They're the highest ranked net team ever not to get in at 28.
Yeah, that's tough. ESPN springing forward into April. We got quite the lineup here. The Final Four coming your way Friday at 7 Eastern. And then at 9 o'clock as well. And you got Major League Baseball Sunday night, 7 o'clock. NHL Sunday at 10 Eastern. A lot of action coming up this week on ESPN. And of course on the ESPN app.
Yeah, we used to say about teams like this, if you were on the committee, would you want to play against them?
Right.
And I would not. I'd rather play Virginia than play this team, because this team kills you so many different ways. This offensive system is a juggernaut.
This is a goaltend called here on Brandon Carlson.
Now, because they made the call, they are allowed to go review this. So you say, why did they call it if they thought it was still on the way up? Because it's the only way you can go to the monitor. Let's see it. It looks slightly on its way down. There you go.
Yep.
So good job. Again, a lot of people. The one thing I don't like about the rule is that if neither team has possession and they overturn it, it goes to the alternating possession arrow. They've got to get that part of this rule worked out. But the idea that you can go to the monitor, especially late in the game, to gauge that, you know, goaltend, basket interference, clean block, good rule.
15-point lead, Indiana State. What do you got here for Utah? How do they try to get back in? It's still some time.
Well, they can't stop anybody. That's the problem. They got to make every shot they take now.
There you go. Hunter Erickson knocks down a three. They have hit 14 threes here tonight.
That's the most all season, but they're not stopping them. And when you have 5 ball handlers now, it's going to be very difficult to get the ball out of their hands.
It's going to have to happen, like you said, here on the defensive end, but that's a tough foul. It's going to be on Bajema, and it's going to be free throws for Indiana State, who is the 3rd best free throw shooting team in the nation. As if they didn't already do other stuff well, they're almost 80%.
Right, but keep in mind, Julian Larry missed his last 2 when he stepped to the line a couple minutes ago.
Sure, it's all about what's going on here tonight. They're actually 64% and 9 of 14 from the free throw line. They have missed 5. And it's a 1-and-1, so this is big here.
And the odds are when you're shooting 78% like this young man is, you're not going to miss 3 in a row.
Avila takes a seat.
What a coaching job. Let's remind people, this guy 13 years at Lincoln Memorial in Tennessee, Division II, and he built a monster program.
But by the way, he had 5 30-plus winning seasons there. This is his 6th of his career here at Indiana State. And how about game 2 coming up tonight, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Seton Hall making their way here into Hinkle, getting set to take on Georgia.
Didn't they beat UConn by 15?
Yes,
Seton Hall. Did the Big East only have 3 teams in the field of 68?
Seton Hall, one of just 3 teams to beat UConn this season. Taking on an inspired Georgia team under Mike White. And that's game 2 of our semifinals here tonight. We got more basketball, Fran. I hope you're ready to rock.
Hey, what do you think? You've been with me 3 weeks, Mike.
Yep.
There's nothing like April basketball, joy for the game. Love the way these guys compete.
There's not many teams left playing right now. Not many people left broadcasting right now. We're all very grateful, right, to be in this position here tonight. This is awesome.
Yep, no question.
Big thanks to our producer tonight, Adam Coppinger. Our director is Greg Ambrose with Matt Ford, Emily Barker, Dylan Urino. Tons of great people helping us out here tonight, putting this on for you. 2 games from Indianapolis. Erickson quickly into the front court for Utah. Smith, 3-pointer, got it. And Davon Smith has 20 points to lead Utah. They are not done yet. 2:45 remaining, 2:46.
He's been everything we thought he would be coming in. And the problem when you have right now, you don't extend your defense very well all season. Now you have to do it, and you're extending it against a team that moves the ball like popcorn in a popper. It just boom, 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 boom.
Well, and it's tough to foul this Indiana State team, as we said, in terms of the free throw shooting, but there still is 2:46 remaining. Let's see how many times they can play out a defensive possession here, or do you try to go foul right now, Fran?
No, I think you still got a couple of opportunities to trap, and but not when this guy's passing.
Nope. Larry.
You can't press him. You can't press this team because they move the ball so well.
That is 7 assists for him tonight. As Erickson pops up a 3. Rebound, Indiana State. Conwell, he's fouled by Bajema.
Well, Julian Larry, the point guard, and of course, when we say point guard, really everybody passes it. Very unselfish team. They get downhill and they just find the open man.
I think Josh Schertz is going to have some more material for a new highlight reel for all these players, right? How about leading into a potential championship game on Thursday night? We'll see.
Yeah, mom and dad, Robbie's mom and dad, happy certainly to this point. 13-point lead. I think they go offense, defense right here, put their best athletes on the floor. And I think this guy at the line, just remember this name, folks, Ryan Conwell. I think he's a potential NBA prospect. Of course, Coach Scherz told us that as well. He's got to play a little bit more point guard. But remember when he went to see him for the first time, his assistant coach said, "I think he's a D2 player," and Coach Scherz said, "I've been a D2 13 years. He's not a D2 player."
Right. That's evident of what we've seen here tonight. How about Smith? Davon Smith drains another three. He's got 23 points, and a foul is called.
He just can't press this team. I mean, this has been, you hate to say clinic. Watch Davon Smith, man. I hope he's at Utah next year. I assume he will be. Get to see him in the Big 12.
What's Craig Smith, head coach for Utah, going to say when he looks at the box score and sees that his team had 16 threes at a 57% clip here tonight, and they potentially will lose this game?
Remember what we said at the very beginning. These are two very prolific offensive teams who want to go up and down, and they're very efficient in the half court. And we've seen that play out tonight. Look at this guy.
Smith again. It's a clinic here.
I love this kid and the way he plays. And remember, he's a great passer.
It's a career high 26 for Davon Smith, who, by the way, as we said in the open, is coming off back-to-back triple doubles. He's had 5 this season, 1 off the all-time record. Shot clock. And that's how the Sycamores have played tonight. Kent with the exclamation point.
Josh Scherz told us last week that Jason Kent is the best cutter in college basketball. And this is it right here. Take a look. Young man who was pretty much an extra body at Bradley. Didn't fit their system, couldn't knock down threes. But he is a tremendous piece of that puzzle. And he told us, Coach Scherz, he might be the most important player on that team.
Right. I thought you did an awesome job diagramming some plays online this week that you showed me on this Indiana State team. And what I gathered from that was that every one of these guys has great basketball smarts and reads the defense really well.
Can't play for Josh Scherz unless you are a thinking man's player. He'll make you better because of the way they play, put you in your strengths, and you make the offense better the more you think it.
Davon Smith has another year of eligibility remaining, number 5 for Utah. We talked about it. He went to the NIT semis back when he was at Mississippi State in his first stop, then to Georgia Tech, and now here to Utah. They're down 10 with 1:02 to go.
1 minute to go.
And now I think you got to start fouling. Oh!
Almost a steal here. Badgema got his hands on it. Larry controls it for Bledson, and into the corner goes the Swope. The clock is winding down, 45 seconds to go. Indiana State fans to their feet. Oh, another no-look pass from Larry to Avila. 3-ball Swope. And Indiana State 30 seconds away. Erickson with a layup. And we talked about it a little while ago. 100 on the board. Thought it might have been something that would come down to that. And it's played out that way.
What a fun team. What a fun crowd. You don't want to play in the NIT, stay home, bro. Because this is fun.
Indiana State, 32 wins, moving on to the championship game of the NIT. They brought back the energy, the excitement to Terre Haute, Indiana. and the Sycamores with a 10-point win over Utah to advance to the title game.
Well, they not only sold this place out tonight in 6 hours, they were already sold out for Thursday night. And now those people that bought those tickets were prophetic because they'll see their Sycamore team play in the NIT title game.
Seton Hall in Georgia is game 2 of the semifinals. Coming up 30 minutes from right now over on ESPN2. Congratulations to Indiana State. What an atmosphere here tonight. And they advance to the title game. Time now to send you to Ted Embrick and Corey Alexander. The McDonald's All-American game is next.